Hari Om. Welcome to this third lecture of Ola Sanskrita Sahitya. And today we are really going to start with one of the plays of Bhasa, Mahakavi Bhasa I should say, the shortest play, tragic element, Karnabharam. Before that, a brief invocation. Surasura Sevita Pada Pankaja, Kare Virajat Kamaniya Pustaka, Virinchi Patni Kamala Sanasthita, Saraswati Nrityatu Vachime Sada. Hari Om and welcome you all. I will start today's lecture, as has been a practice for last two, with a verse, and that's a very significant verse by the poet Rajashekhara in his Kavya Mimamsa. He says, Ekasya gacchati kavehe griha eva kavyam, anyasya gacchati surud bhavanani yavat, nyasya vidagdha vadaneshu padani shashvat, kasyapi sancharati vishwakutuhaliva. Let me explain the meaning of this. There are some poets who are not regular pratibhavan poets, who just try to scribble something on the white paper with black ink, right, like you and me, perhaps me. So, ekasya gacchati kavehe grihe eva kavyam. His kavya, his poetry is restricted to his house. Only he, at the most his family members, they also, marun mutkun basavla mantat Marathit. If at all, they are made to sit at one place, they will listen to you. So, ekasya eva griha gacchati kavyam ekasya. Anyasya gacchati surud bhavanani yavat. There are some poets whose poems are good enough, to be discussed and to be relished in their friends' houses as well. I mean, they can invite you if you are a good poet, and then they will have your kavya vachana, something like that. So you have that pleasure of reading your poems in your friends' houses. Surud bhavanani yavat. But there are certain great poets whose poems are always, they find a seat in the mouths of the learned, of the wise, of the intelligent people, and they travel all around the world like a globe trotter through curiosity. Nyasya vidagdha vadaneshu padani shashvat. Shashvat, always. Padani nyasya. Where? Kutra? Vidvat vadaneshu. Vidagdha vadaneshu padani nyasya. Kasyapi. Some great poet, sancharati vishwakutuhaliva, it trots the globe, the entire world. Bhasa belongs to that category. His poems, his verses have found their place in the mouths of the great learned poets who were born after him, like Kalidasa, like Banabhatta, like Dandi, like Vakpati Raja. We saw so many of them. So, such a great poet. And we will be looking into his Karnabharam. Last time I think I said that Bharata's Natya Shastra prohibits some things, this is not allowed in the stage. Like sleeping situations, bringing water. Bringing water is also not allowed by Bhasa, but by Bharata. But Bhasa has in his plays, many of his plays, Abhisheka, etc., apastavat and ima apaha. Somebody brings water for Shapatha Grahana, for Abhisheka, for something, for Shapa, apastavat. So, in a fun it is said, Vakpati Raja called him a Jwalan Mitra. Why not call him Up Mitra? He is a Mitra of waters, because so many references to waters are there. Anyhow, so some prohibited scenes are there. And if you see Bharata's Natya Shastra and all the Sanskrit dramas, later on, they are all Sukhantika. They are all have the happy ending. Bhavabhuti is the only poet, Uttara Ramacharita. Of course, it is Shokatmika, but not a Shokantika. It ends on a happy note, though it has a tragic element throughout, because he is the great propounder of Karuna Rasa. Eko Rasuha Karuna Eva Nimitta Bhedat. That's what Bhavabhuti would say. But Bhasa is the only, perhaps, dramatist who has brought in that tragic element, and not only the tragic element, his dramas are tragedies, as we find in Urubhangam, for example. It's a complete tragedy. It's shaking all of us. It's too much of overwhelming sentiment it gives us, Urubhangam. We'll see it next, of course. But Karnabharam, though it doesn't show the death of Karna on the stage, it indicates, it suggests that Karna is proceeding, is following is going in the direction where his death awaits him to Arjuna. So much power lies in the suggestion than in expression. So Bhasa hasn't perhaps expressed very explicitly the tragic end of Karna, but he has suggested the tragic end of Karna through Yatrasau Arjunaha Tatraiva Chodyatam me Rathaha, when he says, please drive my Ratha to that direction where this Arjuna is there. So this is a very tragic element, in this. Now, let us see what this is the storyline of this Karnabharam is. We are all familiar with the Bhasas, with the Mahabharata story of Karna, that Karna was born with a Kavacha and Kundala, because he was Suryaputra, and therefore that glowing, that radiant armor, Kavacha, with the divine Kundalas he was born with. So they could not be separated from his body. And in the Mahabharata it is said, as long as Karna has his Kavacha on, he is invincible, even by the gods, what to talk of Arjuna then. So Indra, the father of Arjuna, was really worried for his son, and he thought of asking the Kavacha Kundala from Karna. So in the 13th year of their exile in the Vanavasa, Mahabharata says that Indra went to Karna and asked for his Kavacha Kundala. Now why should Karna give it? Karna was a great Dani. Whosoever asked anything from him, he would never say no. He would never send anybody Vinmukha without satisfying their demands, And therefore, Karna, without hesitation, he gave out his Kavacha Kundala. So that is the story. Now, when he is going to fight against Arjuna, he knows it for certain that he is vulnerable now. Devoid of his Kavacha Kundala, his original inborn armor to protect him, he is devoid of that, so he is vulnerable to the arrows of Arjuna. That is one thing, he knows it for sure. Secondly, there was a curse on Karna by Parashurama. That story also forms a part of Karnabharam as well, that comes in the Mahabharata also. So that Shapa is there, and Parashurama has cursed him because Karna cheated Parashurama, saying that he is a Brahmana. He went to study the Shastrastra Vidya, but ultimately Parashurama found out that he is not a Brahmana, he is a Kshatriya. And Parashurama was a great, like a foe of the Kshatriyas. He had 21 times annihilated Kshatriyas from the surface of this earth. And therefore he cursed Karna that at the right moment when you really need the astra, you will forget it. You will forget the mantra, So that astra is ineffectual, So that curse was also there. So many things. And there is another curse, it is not referred to in the Karnabharam, but in the Mahabharata it comes that accidentally Karna happened to kill a homadhenu of a Brahmana. And therefore the Brahmana also cursed him that at the right time, the wheel of your chariot will be swallowed by earth and you will not be able to take it out. So there was a curse by the Brahmana, there is a curse by Parashurama, and then just before the war started, Kunti had come to meet him. And it was Kunti who told him his birth secret. And she told him to, desist from this fatal battle because she wanted all her 6 sons alive, including Karna. And then Karna said, it is too late now, Amma. At this moment, you will have only your 5 sons. With me or with Arjuna, you will have 5 sons. I will kill only Arjuna and I will not touch any of the other sons of yours. So that was again, so there were so many mental pressures. So when we talk about Karnabharam, we will discuss all these things also. But basically the story has been taken from so many parvas of the Mahabharata it occurs in, okay. Of course, there are variations also. There is very interesting, what you can say, source which has been given by one David Nelson. I would request you to go through this book, Bhasa Afresh. There is a book called Bhasa, a study by Dr. A.D. Pusalkar, a very great work. And Pusalkarji did it in Mumbai University under the Mandlik Gold Prize and Medal. That was a dissertation which he submitted. But this N.P. Unni, who was the former Vice Chancellor of Shankaracharya University, Kaladi, he has written another very scholastic book. And there he has referred to one foreign author called David Nelson. And referring him, he says that there is another source for Karnabharam. And what is that source? He says, Mahabharata, of course, there is Mahabharata as a source, but there are too many deviations from the Mahabharata. What are the deviations? We'll see shortly. So, taking into considerations these deviations, one is tempted to deduce a conclusion that there must be some other version of Mahabharata in front of Mahakavi Bhasa. The Mahabharata which we are reading today does not have possibly all these variations, but there must have been an older version of Mahabharata available to Bhasa, because Bhasa belongs to minimum 4th century before the Common Era, perhaps still earlier. In fact, he precedes even Kautilya. He doesn't refer to Kautilya's Arthashastra. Ravana, in one of the plays of his called Pratima, Ravana boasts, Ravana was a very learned demon, and he says that I have studied this, I have studied that. In that he says, Barhaspatyam Arthashastram. So Brihaspati was the predecessor of Kautilya. Kautilya pays very reverentially, he refers to the name Brihaspati, and Ravana, Bhasa's Ravana, has studied Barhaspatyam Arthashastram. So that means Bhasa has preceded Kautilya. Bhasa is an ancient dramatist. We have seen it in the last lecture, and therefore perhaps there was another edition of Mahabharata which was available to him, which we might have lost today. And what it could be? This David Nelson, he says that this is based, Karnabharam is based on a ritual. Not only the story from the Mahabharata, it is based on certain ritual. Now what is that ritual? Is ritual and drama connected? They are connected in a way, because the great Kavikula Guru Kalidasa, he says, Devanamidamamananti munayah kantam kratum chakshusham. What is a drama? Drama is nothing but a very charming kratu, that is yajna, which is drishya, which chakshusham, which you can visualize, which you can see. Chakshusham kratum. So this is like a kratu. And what is that kratu which is referred to in Karnabharam, he says it is Vratya Stoma. Vratya Stoma is the Kratu. It's a part of the Mahavrata ceremony. The Mahavrata, Pravargya, etc. they are discussed in the Aranyakas. In the Brahmana literature, especially in the Aranyaka, they are mystic sort of sacrifices, yajnas, and there, in the Mahavrata and the Vratyastoma, Karna is enacting as a Mahavratya Yajamana, and the Yajamanas in such yajnas are never Brahmanas, they are Kshatriyas. This is again a very different point to be noted. So they are the Kshatriya Yajamanas, and as a part of the ritual, they take 3 steps, Trini Padani. And that is with the taking of each step as if they are wiping out and shading off, casting off their impurities here and heading towards the heavenly world, towards the Swarga. So the 3D Padani are referred to many a times, even in the other sacrifices also, in Rajasuya also, for example, the Raja takes the 3 steps as if he is ascending the Swargaloka, heavenly world. And Karna here is doing that ceremony as a Vratya. He is the Yajamana and he is taking 3 steps. And why these 3 steps is so important? Because in the drama, he talks to Shalya and tells him 3 times, Yatrasau Arjunaha tatraiva chodyatam me ratha. Where this Arjuna is, please take my chariot there. So these 3 statements, after some interval, they are nothing but the 3 steps. And shedding, what about shedding off and casting off your impurities? He has cast off his kavacha and kundala with which he was born, because with that he can't ascend the heavenly world, and giving it as dana and dissolved, of all the impurities, he is now ready to ascend the Swargaloka. So this is a very unique type of interpretation. Of course, many scholars have not endorsed it. Nonetheless, I thought of mentioning this. So those who want to study it further in the comparative angle of the Vratyastoma, in this will trigger them to go to the Vratyastoma, to the Mahavrata ceremony, and find out the similarities and dissimilarities thereof. So this can be like a research project for some of the participants, the student participants who have gathered online here. And therefore, I just wanted to mention this, David Nelson. And then this N.P. Unni has brought out this edition of Karnabharam with 6 manuscripts, whereas T. Ganapati Shastri had only 3 manuscripts. N.P. Unni found 3 more, and one of these is found in Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, Pune. And that codex, the entire bundle, has 13 dramas of Bhasa plus 7 more by some other people. So it is a complete codex of 20 dramas as such. So 5-6 manuscripts he has taken into consideration. Why I am telling this, because drama, we know the story of it, we know the deviations from it, we can do the rasasvada, understand the meaning of it, but what amount of labor and pain lies behind bringing out any edition. So the student should understand that, because bringing out a textual, critical edition of any drama is not less laborious task than delivering a baby. So this is as laborious as delivering a baby. So I just appeal to the people here that please do not neglect this branch of learning, what is called manuscriptology. And therefore manuscripts, they give so much of information. And another interesting point is in the colophon, which is called Pushpika in the Hastalikita Shastra, in the colophon of these dramas, every time the word is not Karnabharam. The names differ. The names are like Kavachankam Samaptam or Karnabharam Avasitam sometimes. Kavachadanam Samaptam. Kavachadanam is another variation. Karana Kavacha Haranam. Karana Kavacha Haranam. And Karana Bharatam. That is also one of the variations. So the Pushpikas are also very interesting. The scribe, whosoever writes that drama, whatever, with the regional variations, with the regional readings, he has a regionally popular name of the drama inscribed into that. So there are multiple names. It is not every time Karnabharam, though the story is the same. And 2 of these manuscripts out of 6 which N.P. Unni has studied, 2 don't have the prologue at all. In the prologue there are 2 verses, we will be studying the 2 verses today, but there is no prologue at all, and it starts directly from the 3rd verse of the drama. On the basis of this, there is another, what you can say, interpretation by Unni ji, that this is not a drama written by Bhasa as it is an adaptation of whatever Bhasa wrote. Adaptation for what? Adaptation for stage enactment. Because this Karnabharam was preserved in Kerala in the Kutiyattam style that we have seen for the last 2 lectures. Kutiyattam, the world's or the India's oldest theatrical art, that has preserved this Karnabharam, and that Karnabharam which they have preserved, that alone was scribed later on as Karnabharam Nataka by Bhasa. Perhaps Bhasa might have written a longer version, and this one-act play comprising only of 24 verses, very short, only 24 verses, is perhaps an adapted Rangavritti for enactment on the stage. And for that they have another evidence to say that on the basis of, on the drama Pratidnya Yogandarayana, especially based on the 4th act of Pratidnya, there is an adaptation done by the Kutiyattam Chakyars called Mantrankaha. Mantrankaha. Similarly, this could be Kavachankaha. Kavacha Ankaha. Now some scholars say, no, this is not adaptation, this is the complete play of Bhasa, because nowhere we feel it is abruptly ending, Though Karna's death is not shown, he is heading towards his death, and that is suggested, and more power lies in the suggestion than in the expression. Vyanjana is more powerful than Abhidha, so that is the other thing, okay. And secondly, this type of one-act play, there are many types in the Dasharupaka. Dhananjaya gives you, or Sahitya Darpana Vishwanatha gives you the types of dramas. One-act plays, there is Vyayoga, there is Bhana, there is Prahasana, there is Vithi, there is Anka. So this Anka, Kavachankaha, this could be the type of the drama and not the adapted version of the Karnabharam. So all these are like, very scholarly, seemingly very scholarly interpretations, but unless we see all these probabilities, I think it is not proper on our part to go to the drama directly. So what are the variations we'll see, and then we'll see the title and its significance. So in the Mahabharata we have it in the Shanti Parva. The curse of Parashurama occurs in the Shanti Parva. In the Vana Parva, that is the 13th year of their exile, Pandava's exile, Indra came to ask for the Kavacha Kundala. So the Kundala Harana Parva, there is Upaparva in the Vana Parva. And also in the Sabha Parva and the Shalya Parva, we have so many references to this. Bhasa has taken the references scattered all through these Mahabharata Parvans and has compiled a story out of it. So, what are the deviations from this? Indra asked the Kavachas in the 13th year of exile. Bhasa has made Indra ask the Kavacha Kundala on the battlefield. That becomes more impactful, and that arouses the sympathy, the empathy of the readers and the spectators for Karna all the more. See, here he is going as a Senapati. This is his do or die moment for him. And at that moment, Indra comes as a Yachaka and begs for the Kavacha Kundala. So morally, he will be demoralized, no wonder in that, no doubt about it. So we have all our sympathy for Karna. That is the greatest of the variations. In the original Mahabharata, son, the father of Karna, comes and warns him. Oh dear son, Indra will come in the guise of a Brahmana to ask for this. Don't part with your Kavacha Kundala. That is your armor, that is your protection, shield. Don't part with it, don't give it to Indra. So, son, because he is Surya Putra Karna, right? So, son himself comes to warn and alert him. Here, no such indication. So, when Indra comes, it is like a surprise. Karna is not informed by anybody, so the impact is all the more graver, right? Then in the Mahabharata, after giving Kavacha Kundala, Karna himself asks something as a return gift. Indra's Shakti, Vasavi Shakti. Here Karna doesn't ask anything. That uplifts his character all the more. He is known for his generosity and selfless generosity. There is no selfish motive at all. He doesn't expect anything from Indra in return. So that enhances his characterization all the more. Another very important point is in the original Mahabharata, Shalya is the person who demoralizes Karna now and then, again and again. He is the best charioteer, but the demoralizing part which he does for Karna, as it is Karna is in the do or die moment, in the addition, Shalya also pricks and penetrates and abuses and criticizes him every now and then. As against that, Bhasa's Shalya is a very soft person, very sympathetic to Karna. And in fact, he would warn Karna, please don't give that. Do you know he is Indra? Shakrena bhavan vanchitaha. You have been cheated by Indra, Purandara. And then Karna says, no, maya shakraha vanchitaha. I have deceived him because he came as a Yachaka at my door. So who is greater? A Data is always on the upper hand because he gives. The Yachaka is at the receiving end, Data is at the giving end, isn't it? So, Shalya of Bhasa is also very different character altogether. And then Indra speaks in Prakrit language. This is very unique. In Karnabharam, especially in the, all the great characters, they never speak in Prakrit. According to Natya Shastra of Bharata, it is only the Vidushaka, the Chetas, the servants and women, they speak in Prakrit because that is natural to them, Prakriti. And all the great characters like the hero and Devatas, etc., they will speak Samskrita, which is refined language, right? But here Indra speaks Prakrit. Perhaps it is to minimize, lower down the tension which is being built up by Karna's bhara, the burden, right? And it's a little bit of humor, streaks of humor, streaks of smile would come on the faces of the spectators when Indra, as a typical Yachaka, beggar, that too speaking in Prakrit, so that minimizes that tension a little bit. That leads us to the title, Karnabharam. So what is Bhara? Karnabharam. What is Karnabhara? So Bhara is basically the burden. Bhara means burden, right? Boja, Ozha in Marathi. Like we have Bharavahakaha, one who carries load on his shoulders or on his head, Bharavahaka, Tula Bharaha, Tula Bharaha, etc. So Bhara is weight, burden, like that. Now what is that burden on Karna? It is Karnasya Bhara. Karnasya Bhara, Karna nama patram. Natakasya patram, Natakasya nayakaha, Tasya Bharaha. Why Bhara? Because he is Senapati. This is the 9th day of the war and he is coronated as the Senapati after Drona's Drona's demise, and much responsibility falls on his able shoulders to lead Kauravas to victory. So that is the Bhara which he really shoulders, So that is one meaning. Another is which Pusarkar very strongly says, Karanayoho, Karana is not the Patra Karana, but Karana means ears. Karanayoho bharabhute kundale dattva karanena apurva danashurata prakatita. He doesn't mention kavacha, he mentions only kundala. So these kundalas were as if burden for Karna, because once he has given it out verbally, actually cutting through his sword and offering it to Indra, in that some time has elapsed. And therefore, in that time, the kundala were bharabhuta. They became like a burden for him. And apurva danashurata tena prakatikrita tam danashuratam adhikritya kritam natakam karnabharam. So this is the nataka which emphasizes the charity of Karna in giving the kundala which were as if a burden for him after verbal charity. So the verbal gift and actual delivery, there is some time. But that is not so convincing. At least for me it is not convincing. I would rather take it as, so many others also have taken it as Bhara is pressure, not the actual heaviness of an object, but it's a mental pressure under which he is, succumbed. He succumbed to that mental pressure. And this mental pressure is building up, is piling up, has piled up because of these 2-3 reasons. The curse of Parashurama, the curse of the Brahmana, which is not referred to here, but that is there at the back of his mind. His meeting with Kunti and his promise that there will be 5 Pandavas thereafter. If he dies, with Arjuna; if Arjuna dies, with him. And the 4th thing is, he is devoid of his Kavacha Kundala, so he has become vulnerable. That is also there. And another thing, he knows it for certain that Arjuna is invincible. He is a great warrior, an archer par excellence, and he was defeated by Arjuna minimum 2 times previously. In the Gograhana Parva, in the Virata Parva, right? And another thing was, immediately after they were sent to exile, Duryodhana with all his retinue went, to tease the Pandavas. See, look at me, with all royal glory and pomp I am living, and you fellows, you are cutting woods and cooking for yourselves. So that was more of an arrogance of his wealth and his regality. Karna was also there, and they were caught by the Chitrasena Gandharva, and it was Arjuna who released them. So he knows it for certain that Arjuna is a great warrior and he will have a tough fight against him. Okay, so all these things are mentally, psychologically piling up, and that creates a burden. It is basically the anxiety, chinta, and chinta bhara sama prokta. Chinta is really like a pressure, chinta is like a pressure. Now this is a Utsrishtikanka, the type of drama. Utsrishtikanka, this could have been Vyayoga. There is another type Vyayoga. We will have Vyayoga in Urubhangam. We will have Vyayoga in the Madhyama Vyayoga. And but Vyayoga has Veera Rasa, whereas here throughout there is Karuna Rasa. And Prakhyata Vritta, etc., etc. And therefore this is Utsrishtikanka, and therefore perhaps the word Kavachanka, because Anka it is not just an Anka. Anka is Utsrishtikanka, the type of the Rupaka, the type of drama. With all this background now, let us start the drama per se. This is the Karnabharam, the Prastavana we will start. This particular book which I am referring to, I have referred to so many books, but this is edited by Acharya Baldev Upadhyay. Acharya Baldev Upadhyay, great Sanskrit scholar and former Vice Chancellor of Sampurnananda Sanskrit University. And his books, like Baldev Upadhyay, Purana Vimarsha is very famous. Then there are so many great books written by him. So he has edited all these books, but this particular Karnabharam, the Sanskrita Vyakhya and the Hindi Vyakhya is done by one Ramji Mishra from Kashi Sanskrit Vidyapit, Banaras Hindu University. So, Prathamaha Ankaha, Nandyante Tatah Pravishati Sutradharaha. We have seen that all bhasas plays begin with Nandyante Tatah Pravishati. This is the stage direction. The Nandi has already taken place, and thereafter the Sutradhara enters. Now, who is Sutradhara? Sutram dharayati iti Sutradharaha. Okay, Sutram dharayati. Interestingly, this can take you to one of the theories of the origin of drama, puppet shows. There is a theory that from puppet shows the drama evolved, because there is, the puppets, and really, literally the thread is held by the person who is, making these puppets dance at his will. So, Sutram dharayati iti, but that is one theory. Sutradhara really means, Sutram dharayati is okay, but what is Sutra? It is not a thread. Natyopakaranadini Sutramityabhidhiyate. All the accessories of the dramas, Natya Upakarana, they are called as Sutra. And one who manages all that is Sutradhara. He is the stage manager. Vyavasthapakaha. Sutradhara is Vyavasthapakaha. Okay. So, Sutradhara enters. Now, here that Ramji Mishra, in a very nice, profound Sanskrit, he starts it. Atha Tatra Bhavan Kavi Chakra Chudamanihi Kalidasadibhihi Atishlagita Guna Ganaha Bhasaha Karnabharam Namakam Natakam Chikirshuhu Vigna Vighataya Sutradharena Kritam Mangalacharanam Suchayan Tasya Pravesham Nirdishan Aha Naramrigapati Varshma Lokana Bhranta Nari Naradanuja Suparva Vrata Patala Lokaha Karajakulisha Pali Bhinna Daityendra Vakshaha Suraripu Balahanta Shridharostu Shriyevaha. Shridharaha Vaha Shriye Astu. That is the main sentence. In Bhasa's verses, we don't need to struggle hard to put the Anvaya in place, because they are all Anvaya, Anvita Padani only. All the Padas are Anvita only. If you catch hold of the predicate, the main verb, the entire verse becomes very Sugama. Okay. Shridharaha Vaha Shriye Astu. Let the Shridhara be for your welfare. Shriya, welfare. Kalyanaya Mangalaya Astu. Kaha Astu? Shridharaha. Shridharaha nama kaha? Shriyaha Dharaha. One who holds Shri, Lakshmi. One who holds all the wealth. Okay, all the glories. He is like like Ramanuja describes Vishnu, Brahmapadena cha nirasta nikhila doshaha anavadhika atishaya asankhyeya kalyana guna ganaha purushottamaha abhidhiyate. So that sort of Purushottama, let him do Mangala for you all. Now this Sridhara, especially in this verse which is Mangala Shloka, Vigna Vighataka Shloka, is in the form of Narasimha. This Narasimha, how is this Sridhara? Nara Mrigapati Varshma. Varshma is Sharira, Gatra, Tanu, Kaya, Vigraha, from the root Vrisha. Vrisha, Varshati iti Varshma, Vrishyate iti Varshma. Vrisha is to sprinkle. If you see the dictionary, the lexicons, Varshma will give you this meaning, like Tanu, Gatra, Vigraha, Kaya, etc., etc., Shariram. But basically it's a handsome, charming, lovely body. So Purushottama's body we are describing, not any Tom, Dick and Harry. So this is Purushottama's Vigraha. And how is this Vigraha? Nara Mrigapati. Mrigapati, Mriganam Patihi, Simhaha. Nara Simhaha, Nara Mrigapati Varshma. Seeing that, Alokana. Nara Mrigapati Varshma Alokanena Bhrantaha. Ke Bhrantaha? Chakita Chakitaha. Bhrantaha Dingmudhaha. Chakita Chakitaha. Vismayanvitaha. Kete. Who all are Bhranta? Nari, Nara, all the women, all the men, Danuja, all the Asuras. Danu was the wife of Kashyapa. Danu's sons are Danuja or Danava. Then Suparva Vrata. Suparvanaha nama Sumanassaha. Devaha, Amaraha, Girvanaha. Suparva is one of the synonyms. See Amarakosha. So Suparvanaha nama Sumanasaha. Who are they? The Devaloka. They are Vrata. Vrata Samuhaha, Sanghataha, Sanchayaha, Nikaraha. So the group of all the gods. All the people are Vismaya Chakita at the very sight of this Narasimha. Nara, Nari, Danuja, Suparva Vrata, Patala Loka. Even the Patala Loka. Because when you say Nara Nari, it is the Bhuloka gets covered. When you say Suparva Vrata, the Dyuloka gets covered. So the nether world, Patala Loka. So all are like Bhranta at the very sight of this. What did he do? Karaja Kulisha Pali Bhinna Daityendra Vakshaha. Bhinna, one who pierced, one who shattered, one who broke asunder, Vaksha, the chest of Daityendra, of Hiranyakashipu, the Mahadaitya, the king of the demons, Daitya, Ditehe Putraha, Daityaha again, another wife of Kashyapa, and her son, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, etc. So one who torn asunder the chest of Hiranyakashipu with Pali, Agrabhaga. Pali is Pranta, the Agrabhaga of Karaja Kulisha. Karaja, Kara is hand. Kare Jataha, Karajaha Nama Nakhaha, the nails. Karaja is Nakha. And these Nakhas are as sharp as Kulisha Vajra. Kulisha is Vajra. So, if you construe that after splitting all the words, Karaja, Kulisha, Pranta, Bhinna, Daityendra Vakshaha, one who torn asunder the chest of Daitya Raja, that is Hiranyakashipu, with his nails as sharp, with the tips of his nails, Pranta, Pali is Agrabhaga with the tips of his nails as sharp, as fatal as Vajra. So that is another, what you can say, adjective, epithet of this Narasimha. One more is there, Sura Ripu Balahanta. One who is the killer, Hanta, the vanquisher of Bala. Bala is army, Bala is Sena, Chamu. Okay? He is the chastiser, the vanquisher of the armies of Sura Ripu, of the enemies of the gods, that is the Asuras. So, Asura Sena Hanta, Sura Ripu Balahanta, Sacha Shridharaha, Etadrishaha, Shriyaha Dharaha, Vaha Shriye Astu. Now, this is, like we were talking about the Guna, Riti and all that. We can analyze this. Samasa, of course, I have split into this. The first 2-3 lines like Nara Mrigapati, Varshma, etc., they give you the harsh consonants, the conjunct consonants, so the style could be Gaudi. But the last line, Sura Ripu Balahanta, Shridharostu Shriyevaha, is Vaidarbhi. It has a Prasada Guna. Prasada is like, reading is understanding. When you read and you understand, it is Prasada. Otherwise, Ojo Guna, vigor. You have to really break your head to break the samasas. Then it becomes Ojo Guna. Bhasa hardly uses Ojo Guna. There is Prasada, as I said, you can easily construe the words in the shloka very easily. Construe is the Anvaya, the shloka Anvaya becomes very easy. Here is a figure of speech called Paryayokta. Paryayokta. Paryayokti, this figure of speech, Vina Vachya Yadvachaha Paryayena Bhangyantarena Kathyate Tat Paryayoktam. That is the definition. Let us not go into deep that. I will be circulating these notes as anyhow. So, when you are stating something in a roundabout manner, not directly, instead of saying, let Narasimha take care of you all, let him let him take care of your welfare and well-being and all that. Instead of that, one looking at whose form these ladies and the men and the gods and the asuras were Bhranta Chitta. This is a roundabout way of talking, and that is called circumlocution, Paryayokta, or periphrasis. This is a very technical term. Periphrasis or Periphrasis, periphrasis or circumlocution, that is Paryayokta Alankara. We normally use it when we want to invite some very venerable guest in our house. How do we invite him? Just come to my house? No. Why don't you, आप अपनी चरण रज से हमारा घर पवित्र क्यों नहीं करते? Something like that, चरण धूली, चरण रज, पाद धूली. आमच्या घरी पायधूळ झाडा ना, in Marathi. आमच्या घरी पायधूळ झाडा, just come. So this is the roundabout way, we use it in our daily usages as well. So it is not that the figures of speech are there only in literature, only in poetry. In our common day-to-day behavior also, we use these figures of speech. Okay? So this is the first verse. I hope it is all clear to you. The meaning is very clear. We'll read it once again. Naramrigapati Varshma Lokana Bhranta Nari Naradanuja Suparva Vrata Patala Lokaha Karajakulisha Pali Bhinna Daityendra Vakshaha Suraripu Balahanta Shridharostu Shriyevaha. This is Malini Vritta. Na na ma ya ya. This is the Gana Vritta. Na na ma ya ya. So all laghus like that. So Laghu Guru, this you can find in any dictionary, Apte's dictionary and all. At the back, all the chandas, all the vrittas would be given. So this is Malini Vritta, very nice. And now the Sutradhara, after reciting this, he says, Evam Arya Mishran Vidnyapayami. The Sutradhara addresses the spectator, the Rangamancha, the people who have assembled. Arya Mishra are the people who have assembled. I would like to request, I would like to entreat upon you. And in that, he listens to something. Parikramya Karanam Dattva Aye Kinnu Khalu Mai Vidnyapana Vyagre Shabdaiva Shruyate. When I am very busy doing this job of stage managing, I hear some kolahala. Kinnu Mai Vidnyapana Vyagre Sati Saptami Shabdaiva Shruyate. Then Anga Pashyami. Okay, let me see. Anga is a Sambodhana. Okay, Acha jara dekhata hu kya hai. And then he just goes, and from the Nepathya he hears one sentence. Bho bho, bho bho. Nobody comes on the stage. From the Nepathya, behind the curtain. Nepathya, again Nepathya, we can have a note on that. Nepathya is Kushilava Griham. It is like the house of the Kushilava, the natas, the actors, okay? Kushilava grihasya, Kushilava kutumbasya griham, Nepathya muchyate. Nepathya is a backstage. Nepathya is something like a green room, like backstage, green room. Nepathya also means Yavanika, the curtain. Nepathya also means the attire, the dress. In Malavikagnimitram, for example, Gautami says, Virala Nepathyam Malavikam Praveshaya. Virala Nepathyam, Jirjirit Kapde, transparent clothes. Nepathya. So Nepathya has many meanings. The most popular meaning is behind the stage, behind the curtain, or in the green room. So he listens to the sentence, Bho Bho, Nivedyatam Maharajaya Angeshwaraya. He is Angaraja Karana, Maharajaya Angeshwaraya Nivedyatam. Please tell him, somebody go and tell him. Then Sutradhara listens to that, just sees, and there is some soldier coming here, Bhavatu Vidnyatam. Now I know what is that Shabda. Aye Shabda iva shruyate. I hear something. Now I know what is that Shabda. Sangrame tumule jate Karanaya Kalitanjalihi Nivedayati Sambhrantaha Bhrityo Duryodhanadnyaya. Sangrame tumule jate. When this Sangrama is become very fierce now. The battle is do or die, fierce battle, tumula rana. At that time, Karanaya Nivedayati. Somebody is coming. Who is this? Bhrityaha, the servant. Whose servant? Duryodhana's servant, because he is carrying the orders of Duryodhana. Duryodhanadnyaya Bhrityaha Nivedayati Karanaya. Nivedayati Karanaya is Chaturthi, because Nivedan Karna, Dena, it requires Chaturthi. How is this Bhritya? There are two adjectives of Bhritya. One is Sambhrantaha. He himself is very afraid. He is fearful. He is like deluded. He doesn't know what to do, where to go, because he is under the pressure of that fierce battle. What will happen now? He is not sure. Therefore, Sambhrantaha and Kalitanjalihi, because Karna is also Angeshwara. Secondly, he is the Senapati, and therefore he just can't go and say, oh, Duryodhan Maharaj ne kaha hai, aisa karo. He has to go with folded hands. Kalitaha, Anjalihi, Yena, Rachitaha, Anjalihi, Yena, Saha, Kalitanjalihi. So that type of Bhritya goes, he is coming. So now what happens is, Sutradhara has heard somebody talking something, and that is who? That is this Bhritya, the servant, who has come on the orders of Duryodhana to say something to Karna that, oh, get prepared, now this is your time and you have to win for your master, right? So like that he is coming. So this Sutradhara suggests the entry of that bhatta, entry of that soldier on the stage, and he himself takes an exit. The Prastavana ends here. he takes an exit only after 2 verses, the Nandi, not the Nandi, but the Mangala Shloka and this Shloka, and he takes an exit indicating the entry of that soldier. This type of prastavana, where the entry of another character is indicated, is called Prayogatishaya. Technically, it is called Prayogatishaya prastavana. Okay, this is like Prayogatishaya prastavana, maybe next time you will have it here only. एषः अयम् इति उपक्षेपात् सूत्रधारप्रयोगतः पात्रप्रवेशो यत्रैषः प्रयोगातिशयो मतः. This is from Dasharupaka. Now this aye kinnu khalu mai vidyapana vyagre, this also we saw in the second lecture, last lecture, that this is a typical starting of all the dramas of Bhasa. Sutradhara comes, recites one Mangala Shloka, then listens to something, Shabdaiva Shruyate, same sentence, Ai, Kinnu Khalu Mai Vidyapana Vyagre, Shabdaiva Shruyate. Then there will be some Shabda, Parikramya, Avalokya, Nishamya cha, and then he will state what is that. Okay. So this again has become like an internal evidence to prove that all these dramas are by the same author, right? So when there are certain similarities which you can see in all his dramas, there is no doubt that all the dramas are written by one and the same person. Okay, so Prastavana we have ended, and from the next time in 2 lectures, next Sunday, that is 26th and 3rd of July, we will have the other 20 verses of 22 verses of Karnabharam, and 2 more Sundays are required for Karnabharam. Thank you. Hari Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.